what happened was, okay, it was during Madison's birthday party, and Mason was working overnight to detox, so he was sleeping, right? And Madison needed Mason for something, so she sent Sarah, who is a resident, into Mason's private room.
Ooh.
With the door shut. Mason was asleep. She woke him up. He grabbed her hand, was like, I'll be down in a second, you know, like a tired person would be. And that was it. And a month later, she put on her cop list that he tried to pull her into his bed or some bullshit like that. So, like, she's fucking vindictive and awful person. I don't know what Maddie's talking about. Maddie was barely there when she was around the second time.
Wow.
Well, she even tells me after this, she keeps going and she tells me to get bent. She says that was the only intimate relationship. They just didn't listen, and that's their stupid own act and their blindness. They're the stupidest shit in the world. And then they said that they were on a kick out. They were going to kick Allie out. She couldn't get honest when I was leaving, and she always started BS. Anyways, get fucking bent. Have a nice life. Spreading rumors and lies from people who just aren't reliable at all. I said we are doing things out here to help people's lives and to put an end to everything that's going on. We don't put bestie friendships before morals. Sarah will continue to get hate as well as Madison for what they're continuing to do. I'll be sure to show everyone these messages as well so we can make sure we know what kind of person you stand for.
Well,
Good.
there you fucking go, guys. So all of this shit. So wait, is that what Mason was fired over?
Yes.
Wow.
A month after it happened.
May I ask why she waited 30 days approximately?
Because it wasn't what it was some ammo, because right before that the fires were happening, and Sarah created like this, like, in like, what do you call it? Like, we were at the movies and we were coming back early because the fires, we got a warning, and she was freaking out, riling everybody up. Grab your shit. We're leaving. I don't give a fuck. We're leaving. Then she told Allie to tell someone to get the phones to everybody. So the phones started getting distributed, and I'm standing there like, you guys can't have your phones. I wasn't told to give you your phones. And then there was a big old thing. She was going to get 10,000 words. And then Allie said, no, I said it. And then I looked like an idiot. And instead of the other staff stepping up behind me and being like, okay, that's not, you got this, Anthony. And they're like, okay, well, you still did this and that. It was just a bunch of bullshit. It was so confusing because, like, I was right there when she said it and they didn't back me up. And that's why I got fired too, because they, like, ignored the fact of what I was saying. It was fucked up.
Wait, who fired you guys? Because it wasn't.
Well, I got fired. I got fired by Madison before Mason did.
Oh.
Just because of for lack of better words, like a power grab from Sarah?
Yeah. Because she didn't, and then, like, she had her phone. She was always on it. Like, she wasn't being part of the house. She told several people who left, even when Maddie left, she pissed the fuck out of Maddie. Like, we were talking to Maddie. Maddie was going to stay. And then Sarah's like, I don't give a fuck. Leave, dude. If you're going to keep bitching, just leave. That's what she said to Maddie.
Sounds like Sarah's trying to take over the house.
Sarah's fucking extra chromosome because she's a fucking weirdo.
Jesus.
Like, why would Maddie ride so hard? Why would Maddie ride so fucking hard and involve herself in this shit?
Because Maddie's got her own things. I love Maddie to death. She's a peach, but she's got her own issues. Everybody's got their own issues, and there lies the fact of what the house is supposed to be, to help people with those underlying issues, not fucking, oh, here's your issues, the defaults that we're trying to get out of you. Bye.
Yeah.
It's not at all what it is. At all. Like, I wasn't really that fucked up, but I needed to get as far Sorry. I needed to get as far away from what I was doing the whole time I was doing it. It was like 2.5 years of just straight ruining my life. I needed to get away, and I knew Johnny from before, so I didn't know anything about Graceland. Yeah, Johnny Crump. I used to go to meetings with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw him when I came back home from my first time out here for like 100 days. And I met him while I was out here, and I saw him on one of the videos, and I was like, "Oh, that place looks good. That's something I need. Something that'll keep me for a year, not as soon as they think I'm ready." And like I told the place I wasn't ready, and as soon as I left, I relapsed, and it was just bad.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that's how I got to Graceland, because I knew Johnny, and I hit up Johnny, and like I got there, and I wanted to do it. So like I was playing ball the whole time. I worked on myself. I like, and then I'm just sitting there watching everybody be miserable, and like children, and like lying and being deceitful and getting what they want. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I worked in construction, and we got done with the house. We do custom houses. So like there was like a 3-month period there that I was trying to find a job, but I had a theft on my record that I got from my addiction because I stole a can of paint, and I wasn't getting a job. But jobs I don't even want to do that I'm overqualified for just to get a job. But I'm seeing these people who are like on like threatening to leave, and they give them jobs with Pat's dad or other places. And I'm like, what about me? These people already have jobs, and you guys... And then they wouldn't let me graduate in August. I had to wait until October.
My eyes are just fine, SSV. See you later.
They're just fucked up, honestly. And it not until I left that it like clicked. Like once they fired me, I wasn't about it, but I knew I had to like play the game because I wanted to save up some money before I left. So 2 months was perfect. But I was in my mind the whole time. I was like, these people are fucked up. They're fucked up.
It's crazy. I kind of.
And I just sitting there watching it.
Do you see?
And
like since you left, are you just seeing so much? Obviously, you spent a lot of time in here, so you're hearing us talk smack. But are you seeing things differently, like on your own?
Yeah, definitely. Like I still talk to some of the residents and stuff, so I got my finger in there. Like, it's very difficult, and I don't dare to even talk to Evan. Evan was like my best friend there, so I don't dare talk to him.
Right up Pat's ass. So
yeah.
I think
And that's another reason. So like. But I think it's more of a show until he can get out. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him about it.
What's stopping him? I mean, without exposing him, what's stopping him from getting out?
I think he wants to learn everything. He likes the industry, and he wants to get into it for himself. So he wants to know all of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Why would Madison, the director of operations, terminate you and Mason over the directive of a resident who, if memory serves me correct, is using their own IOP services? Like, why would that kind of move be made?
I really don't know, because her words to me were like, we can't have you living in this house and working here because we can't trust your word of what you're saying. And the other staff are having a hard time talking to you. Because all I did when I was a staff, I held the rules. I knew the rules. I was very particular about the rules, but I also gave a lot of grace. And I also met people where they were. I talked to them every day. I was there all day. And it was just like, I'm here to help these people. Like, they're going through the same thing as me. I'm not trying to like, yeah, I understand the program. I did the program, but you guys weren't this hard on me. It worked on me. Why can't we do it this way? Like, I never lied, cheated, or nothing in the house. I did what I was supposed to do. I barely wrote words. It's just, I think there's something fishy going on now, and I just can't put my brain on it. Like, it's some sort of grab or something.
You're right. Were you a paid employee, or were you one of the staff that was getting room and board?
Okay, so I was getting room. I barely ate there. I paid for my own food, but
Right.
and then they did cover so my first 3 months there, I had insurance, but I didn't have my phone until I was there for like 110 days. So on the third month, my insurance company was sending me emails for me to pay my premium to keep my insurance. So the last 2 months I was in IOP, it wasn't getting paid for. So nobody was relaying this. The IOP wasn't relaying it to me. Graceland wasn't relaying it to me. And so when I finally got my phone, it was too late. And so I ended up owing the IOP like $14,000.
Oh shit.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like I looked at my charges on my insurance. It was like a bunch, just like 4 or 5 pages of charges going all the way back to October.
But that was before
And I'm
you
like,
got?
no, I got there in August of 23.
Okay. So you were getting charged back in October.
Oh, Greg,
and
you're here.
Didn't kick in.
Just in time.
And it didn't kick
Yeah.
in.
Bye,
What
Yeah,
kind of
only
Greg.
charges
paid-
were you seeing?
Like 1,000 here, 1,000 there, like $2,500 for a P test, this and that. Like, I can't really remember. I'd have to look it up again. But it was just like, what the fuck? But it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars, it looked like to me. But they ended up settling for like 14, and then I was paying them while I was working like $1,000 a month for like 7 months. So that was 7,000. And then I was paying Graceland too, $1,000 a month. So all the money, pretty much I was left with like $500 a month, maybe, to like send my kids and then pay my phone bill and maybe,
That's
put
crazy.
gas in the car. And after I got let off, I let go, and I was trying to find a job, and they're like hammering me for like all this fucking shit. Then they wanted me to be the handyman around the house. So I would find things, I would message them about the things I needed fixed, and they would never get to me. And they're like, you need to keep pestering us. I was like, no, that's not how it works. I send you what I need, you get it for me, and I fix it. If you don't get it for me, it doesn't get fixed. I'm not going out of my way. I have a busy life here too. I'm working at the house with the residents. I have my own job. I have my own life. I give you what I need. You don't give it to me. So like I did that, and so I got free rent, and then Madison did help me get a cheaper thing on the IOP, but like that's all well and good. That's
Like
all
a different price point for the IOP?
Yeah, so it went from 14,000 to 8,000 to like I owed 1,000, and then I was going to pay it back, but I was like behind from the 3 months. So I was like, I'm not paying them before I pay my bills. That's just crazy. And it killed my credit score too because of that shit. But that's
They dinged it?
no, just because like the 3 months I was out of work, I wasn't having any income.
Oh, you
so
were losing. Oh, I got you.
yeah, there's credit cards and stuff that needed to be paid off.
Can I ask you a
So
question?
it was
Because
just, yeah.
Graceland's historically not known for administering a lot of UAs. Did they UA you a lot in the IOP?
Yeah.
They did, right? So they were run
Once a week.
right? Because they get, they get a couple thousand at least from charging the insurance for that. But in the Graceland, in the house, did you get UA'd?
Yeah, usually you get UA'd when you first come in, or if you like go somewhere like outside of like with staff. If you go like like when I was there, if you went like to stay overnight with family or on a trip like where you were approved to, you come back, you take a P test. Or you like go out with a bunch of the residents and come back, you get a P test. But that wasn't happening. And then we kind of like ran out of P cups. So it's just like, whatever, dude.
So they didn't even pay for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I'm just like, at the last few months before I got fired, I was just seeing a lot of things too. And I was just kind of getting tired of it because like me and Mason would be there with the residents and see all these things that need to happen or need to be done. And we try to coordinate it with like Madison, but she's off on vacation. Ryan and Zach work all from like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So they're not home. So it's just me and Mason running the show.
Yeah.
And like,
Hey, man.
we both have other jobs as well. So it's just like, what are we supposed
It's
to
a
do?
lot. It's a lot to deal with, man. I mean, I'm just surprised that over 2 months, right? That with the IOP and the insurance, because they're on top of that stuff, right? Because everybody has to get the insurance checks. So I just
Exactly.
don't understand why you were being billed directly when they were getting insurance money as well.
Well, they were billing my insurance company that put a pause on my insurance until I paid the premium.
Okay.
So it was being charged to my insurance, but denied each time. It says it on the thing. I remember it. It says charge denied, claim denied, claim denied.
And I'm surprised nobody would have contacted you, though.
Nobody said a
right?
word to me. So like when I found this out and I was like, no, I'm not paying them shit. That's on
I hear
them.
you.
If they told me when it first happened, I could have like done something about it. And then, it smelled like tuna. I was just like, this is dumb.
Was it
And
Anthem by any chance?
No, I had Blue Cross and Blue Shield, Minnesota.
Okay.
I had a good insurance.
That's a great.
It was through my
Blue Cross is awesome usually.
Yeah, I had it through my work. And, like before, I had no problem working or making money. Money is easy to make. You can do anything to make money. People are just lazy. But, like, I don't like to spend my money on stupid shit like that. And it just felt like there was something going on. But I don't know, I got busy at work and just forgot about it most of the time.
And was there like a big change in the house, like since like Nick got there and all the social media bullshit going on?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like with Pat making promises to Nick and like just full out not holding up his like own structure. And Nick would freak out and be like, I'm going to leave. I'm not doing these words. And then they take like, I think he got like 200,000 words dropped from him or something like that. It was a lot.
So does that would obviously cause a lot of resentment in the house? Because I know.
Yeah. Because while he has like 10, 15,000 people, there's other people on the table writing 25K or more. And they're not getting breaks.
Yeah.
They're not getting breaks because they're throwing a little tantrum.
And so they must have been complaining, right? Like to you guys.
Yeah.
About the special treatment going on.
Yeah. All the fucking time. And then half the people aren't going to say shit because, like a lot of them, this is their last place. A lot of other places won't take them. Or they know that like if they go somewhere else with more freedom, they're just going to be back in the same spot.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a fear.
How did you guys handle it? Like, did you have like residents come to you and be like, this is bullshit?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like you have to wing it there, like pretty much bullshit because like I can't really I had no authority to make any power moves. I was just basically there to, keep an eye on them and run dinners and just like overall make sure the house itself while I'm there is like not an anarchy.
That's the way they want to keep it, right? Here, you run the house.
Yeah.
You've got no authority, so just do
Yeah.
what we tell you to do and deal with
And that was a thing. That was a thing with Mason too. He would always be telling them like, "You guys need to give me more authority to make more." Because everything, like, we would come up with a plan. We talk to all the residents and get it with them, and then we would go to like Madison and be like, "This is what we want to do." And she's like, "No, that's stupid. Give them words." Like she waved her little fairy wand.
Did you ever go to Madison and be like, we're like everybody's complaining about like Nick getting all this special treatment and all the shit going on?
I would just be like, you guys have to say it because if I tell her, I didn't like telling her at all. So I told them like every Thursday we have a group. Say what you tell me at group, and a lot of people would tell me all this stuff and never say anything at group. There was a few times I had to call people out, be like, "What were you telling me?" And then they would say something different. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't argue with people like that. I'm just like, fine, then it's just going to continue going the way you guys don't want it to go. And you're going to get miserable. Like a lot of people there have like no backbone at all. It's like crazy.
It sounds so fucked up. It seems, and this Sarah one, did she feel like, did she act like she was like fucking in control from even when she got back to the house? Because she seems a real cunt.
I went to go pick her up and like we had to stop at Target to get stuff, and she's like trying to grab beer, and she grabs a beer and I'm like, "Don't do it." I'm like, she's like, "Are you going to take it from me?" It's like, "I'm not going to touch you. Like, you drink it or you don't drink it. I don't care. That's on you, but let's get what we came here to get and leave." She's just like obnoxious. She was drunk. It was just horrible. And I'm like, and all these people were like, "Oh, I'm a graduate. Blah, 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 blah." What does that fucking mean to me?
He just got done again.
Damn.
Again. Guys.
How did she get?
I don't know. I just clicked it.
Hey, Anthony, I like to really understand like what kind of level of care that the residents get at Graceland. And since you were part of the IOP,
I wasn't part of the IOP. I went to an IOP.
Did you go to Found?
No. And that whole Found thing, like everybody who's at Found, they all became buddy with Madison because she runs it. So they have like a better rapport. So they like, yeah, it's just me and Mason have a thing about it, like the Found crew, because everybody who goes to Mason gets all the special treatment. And like there was people who even left the house and relapsed who still went to Found, who would come to Graceland after they relapsed when they're not even in Graceland. And it was just like sending the wrong message. Me and Mason mentioned that to Madison. She's like, "I'm just going to make the call myself."
Jeremy, I'm going to need you to use a voice changer. Thanks.
Excuse me.
Every
TikTok.
Like
everyone address. This is Jeremy, guys. This is our new Jeremy.
This is not
Kick T out, and we now are friends with Jeremy. Okay, we don't speak a T anymore.
I'm telling
Anthony,
you, the only way this is
something.
happening is if I'm being fucking. They're sick that they're watching, or whoever the fuck it is, and mass botting all my fucking accounts. Go fuck yourself, you and all the bops. Fuck you. Keep going, Anthony.
Why would somebody go to Graceland when they're not part of the house, but they're going to Found? Like, doesn't that hard? Number one, isn't that hard for you to manage as a manager?
Yes, and like I said, me and Mason brought that up to her a few times because she would have like events or whatever, like Thanksgiving and stuff. She brought people who left the house and then ended up relapsing after they left the house to Graceland, and they were just like, I'd come out, and so these people are on non-com. I'm sure you know what that means. They're at the house talking to everybody, and I'm just like, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. This just is dumb. And it's Madison's call. She says it's fine.
So you have someone that relapses. They end up coming to Graceland. No one's allowed to talk to them, and they're at a goddamn party, essentially.
Yeah, and they just get to hang out and talk to people when they're not supposed to be.
And they're going to Found, though, because of the relapse. Interesting.
No, they were going to Found before the relapse, too.
They were. So they were going found.
Yeah.
Before the relapse, they relapsed.
While they were in
boom.
Graceland, they left, relapsed, and then were coming back to Graceland for parties for Found.
Wow. I mean, that's challenging to run a house that way.
Yeah, it wasn't run very well. Like, now that I had time to reflect on it, it was just me and Mason had a lot of good ideas, but they were never put into action because we didn't have any power. And then if we did try to overstep, we would hear about it and we'd get grouped. And Mason got grouped a lot. They disrespected him a lot. I'm surprised he's still such a good guy. The things they said to him and it's just awful.
Just so damn chaotic, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you have people that are on the property that aren't part of Graceland, but are going to Found. And where are they staying overnight?
They're at a different sober living.
Okay. But they're still coming on Graceland. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really safe for the residents either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then that was kind of my concern with the thing. I think Mason had some other ones, but my concern was they've relapsed and they're at a place where they can go out and get whatever they want. They could show up with anything and be like, look what I brought.
Guys, can we resume this in 10 seconds? I'm going to reset because I actually don't want to lose this account because we are.
I can come back.
Yeah, we'll come back, guys.
Jeremy, can you come back?
Are we resetting?
We are
That was awesome. Thank you for that. All right.
All right, we'll be right back. That's better. No, that isn't so good.
Because I think it's more of a show. If they're oh yeah, these are people who came here, graduated, left the community, didn't talk to anybody. They got all messed up and did rugs and then came back and now they're working here and blah, blah, blah. Not these guys came here once, did it perfectly and are still here willing to help people. They just want more. That's boring.
Yeah.
You think it's
Well,
for the
Pat loves
story
to say
too?
everybody comes back.
Yeah, that was definitely at me and Mason and Josh.
No.
I mean, I think they just walk more of a Graceland path than you guys do, right?
They brown nose.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not.
It's our other
No.
panel member. Oh shit. Hold on.
I'm never going to brown nose ever. I'll be nice and I'll say yes sir, yes ma'am, but I'm never ever gonna get on my knees. And that was their whole, they couldn't talk to me. It was because I would call them out on their shit every single time, me and Mason. And they don't like it when you call out their defects. Because most of them barely go to meetings.
Too, bro.
I don't know anything about that. I hope not, because if they are, they're just a bunch of hypocrites.
There's been some
Pat?
tweets, Tony, that's come out,
Britt?
and then in the background of some videos the last couple of weeks, we've been hearing them talk about it.
Yeah, I heard about the mushroom thing, and then I pretty much know about Pat, but I don't know about anybody else.
What I don't get is why.
Jeremy?
Oh shit!
Who is this?
Oh, Britt, you missed it. She's lost. We kicked Piss Pot out, and we've now taken Jeremy on because Piss Pot is a liability. He lost 3 accounts tonight.
You
4.
I leave you fuckers for one night.
I lost Bing Bong. I lost the other ones. We are now.
Damn it. So am I the only one who has her
double
main
tap, guys,
account not
please.
banned?
Someone's botting. Someone's using bots to mass report every single. Brit, I never even did anything. I wasn't even streaming on the
You didn't even have
new
a
one that I
on.
just made.
Piss pot, I don't know if I believe that.
Real.
Relapse with not the social media substances.
Um, so we didn't really talk about it because, like, me personally, I don't know what everybody else knew about it. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't ask any questions about it because honestly, like, I didn't give a fuck what Pat was doing. I knew that I was sober and everybody there I was around was sober, so it didn't matter to me. But when he came back, he did not change one bit. I think he's worse
Yeah.
because he's got that. He's got that under his belt. I went for 30 days in this place to get better, so I'm better than you.
No, he went for 1 day in that place, got kicked out, got
Yeah.
his stuff, and then spent 30 days in a fucking
Yeah,
dollhouse
yeah,
and
in a
stuff.
therapy session. Yeah. I don't know. Like, all my respect for that dude is gone, especially like after the first time I came into the chat and the way he was talking to me, and like it'd be like he was talking to Mason, like, oh man, I care about you, this and that, and then I'd be like, look, this is why this is happening. Oh, you'll regret this. You just threw away your whole community. Nobody wants you here. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay. All
But
right.
if you guys called him up and said, Pat, I want to come back, he'd be like, of course, man, of course. And then
Yeah.
he'd say,
Yeah.
"Look, Tony's
Yeah.
back."
Not going to happen.
I'd hope not.
The only way I'd come back is like I'd come at night, like 2:00 in the morning with my motorcycle and like do a burnout in the driveway and then leave.
Did you think of your question, buddy? Jeremy?
Jeremy?
Jeremy, did you
I
remember your
just
question?
realized, you know what? I think I'm okay to talk like this because I just realized Nick sent me all of her accounts to use, her main account, Esther, and another one. She sent me all of her
Did you
account
see
information.
Mike Hawk said he's got 6
Did you
accounts.
see Mike Hawk's? Mike Hawk's a real one.
Yeah,
Mike Hawk, thank you. Did you? When was the house better when Pat was gone? Did you
Oh,
find
it was great. It was
seemed-
great. It was great. Pat was gone. Madison was gone. It was just me and Mason. And other than that one issue with Sarah rallying the house to like try to get away from the fire for no reason, it was all good.
And so, why was Madison always like friends with Sarah? Is that why she's like
Yeah,
bestied up with her?
Sarah was her big sister
Oh, that explains a lot.
in the
Okay.
house. Yeah. So they've known each other for a long time.
So if Sarah was fucked up when she came back to the house, or drinking again or whatever, then how did she end up in the grad house and as staff now so quick?
because they fast.
I have
So when they come
I
back
have no
from-
clue.
So isn't it if you come back if you've graduated and then you come back, you can do the house in 3 months? what Jose
No,
did.
but yeah, that's what Jose did because Pat was manic and needed someone to run his lives all night, and Xander couldn't do it, and neither could Dara. So they picked him, and since he was never at the house as a resident anymore, they said, fuck doing the resident stuff. You're just going to work. We're going to graduate you again, and you work for us. So they like didn't really focus on his problems. They just kind of like swept him under the rug and let him do whatever he wants. Sarah, yeah, she went to like a 30-day detox, came in. They were like, we need your phone. And she's like, I can't sleep. I can't this and that. So the plan was to let her have her phone for 2 days and then take it back. But they never did. And she
that's
just had it the whole time. when Jose didn't get his phone until he was there for 60 days. Everybody else doesn't get their phone until 60 days.
Right? That was like his fourth time back, right?
Yeah. So it's just like, I like, even me, I didn't get my phone until like 110 days. And I didn't break rules or anything. They just didn't want me to have my phone, I guess. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe they knew about the insurance thing. They didn't want me to have the phone. Cash is king. That's who.
Man, that whole situation, dog.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot to it, and like I messed up my brain with what I was doing. So like, I don't know. I'm surprised I could even talk.
Is that what you mean?
I was like the rugs I was doing. Yeah. I was in a B12 deficiency for like 2.5 years.
Man, were you getting any medical assistance or any kind of help after your insurance ran out?
No,
What
I don't.
Then?
Nothing really. I just like ever since, I don't know. I'm not a big go to the doctor kind of person.
Jeremy, you're echoing.
Pardon me. Hang on, I'm going to switch accounts anyway.
I didn't get insurance through my my other job, and I just don't care. Like I'm in good health. I brush my teeth twice a day. I can stand. I don't feel sick. I can stay up all night, get a couple hours of sleep, and do shit all day.
Why do you think they didn't give you a job at the electrical company?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But else one there.
Yeah, they did. It was crazy. They gave lots of people the job that didn't deserve anything like that. But I'm kind of glad I didn't get it, because like then it would have been a lot harder to like break ties.
Is that why they do it, do you think? Like keeping it all in the family type shit?
Yeah, because they use it against Paul all the time. Like, oh, if you leave now, you're not going to have a job. I'm going to call Billy up and you're not having a job. So like pretty much saying like.
The owner's threatening a resident.
Yeah.
To cut his employment if he doesn't adhere to staying inside
And
the sober limit.
Paul needs a job, right, to finish properly for his.
He needs the job to be able to survive. So like if he doesn't have a job, I'm sure you're aware of the legend that is Paul. Mm-hmm. He would just go right back to what he was doing to make quick money, and then just,
I don't know a lot
downhill
about
from
Paul.
there.
I know a little bit, but yeah, I don't know a lot.
Paul is an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Such a good word for him. An entrepreneurial legend, actually.
Yes.
A salesman.
So like, yes. And me and Paul see eye to eye very well. And he is almost out, and hopefully they give him a graduation, but he only needs his certificate of completion, and then he's gone.
And then he's free, yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll be out of there, right?
Yeah, and he said he's going to make funny videos about Graceland.
Oh, I love that.
When he leaves, yeah.
I'll support Paul. I think he's hilarious.
Paul is
funny character.
Freaking a man. He's one of a kind. One of a kind.
Did Patrick threaten or ask Billy to cut the hours for Mason because he was afraid his sobriety would be at risk?
Oh, good you asked. Yes. So Pat called me probably, what did I say, last Tuesday? He called me and we talked, and he was talking about this, and I was like, you call, like, he told me, all I did was told my dad that he might be overwhelmed, and so he cut some of his hours. I was like, Pat, wouldn't that be something you would come to Mason about? Like, if you were worried about him? Did you give Mason a chance? He's like, he never talked to me. Did you go talk to him? He's like, he needs to talk to me. And it's like, no. So then you shouldn't have got involved. He got mad. He started saying, like, you threw away whole community. He 180'd on me. And he's like, fine, whatever, bro. And I'm like, okay, Pat. All right. Focus on your child, dude. He hung
Your
up.
old child or the 1-year-old?
Well, he's the 8-year-old child.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, his son, Wolf. Yeah, and like I told him, like, you're never getting this time back, dude. You better fucking, like, he's gonna see this, and he doesn't realize that, like, the first 3 years of a child's life is gonna depict the rest of their life. Like, he's an idiot. He doesn't understand how to raise a child. And then he tries to tell me stuff about children, and I'm like, dude, shut up. This kid is going to get bullied because of you.
He's an expert in a lot of fields. He gave Jack cancer advice on treatment for his cancer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
he's an expert in a lot of fields, but he's definitely not an expert in making music. His music's awful.
Talking about the infamous Hyper Crush.
Yeah. Yeah.
T, are you back, T? Are you on? Oh, she's going to come in on a different account. I guess she
never knew anything about it in my life.
Never mind. The accounts are sending codes to Nick's phone, and I don't have her cell phone on me.
You don't have her physical device.
I don't have. She never gave me her actual phone, which is
rude.
Are you happy that you're out, Anthony? Though, like, are you happy that you're back where you are from and like all that stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, it's good to be home. I have like no desire to use. I'm staying with a really good friend I've known for
a specific incident. I know there's a lot to choose from.
Look, we gave Fim a chance, and Fim is getting blocked.
Question is,
Brittany came in and she even told me she like did this like cocktail of rugs, everything she could get her hands on before she came in. So she was very incoherent when she came in. Zach was gonna.
Hello? He's been silenced?
Where you've been silenced? Has the tree been cut?
Not you too.
Me?
Yeah, we couldn't hear you. It cut out.
Am I silenced?
I thought we were going to start calling you Antoinette.
You're back. You're back.
All right. So the question was, have you ever witnessed a detox in the house? And you were talking about how Brittany came in under a cornucopia of rugs. And go on.
Yes. And so she was supposed to stay the night downstairs with Zach. And then they tried to take her to a detox. She wouldn't go, so she came back. So they had her detox in the house. Alex, the girl that was there, she did the same thing.
Wait, can I pause you, Anthony? So the house manager, a male, was going to share a room with a newly arrived female resident that is on the first day of detoxification at night.
Yeah, it's like the living room in the basement, yeah.
The second day after she woke up, and then she's really starting to kick in with the sickness. What happens then?
She just had to deal with it. Like, she can't get any rug diversion treatment. It's not a medical facility. SUBs aren't allowed there. So it was kind of just like cold turkey. And there was a few people that that was the thing. There was this older lady, Stacy, there a while back ago. She slept in the garage a bunch. A lot of people detoxed in the garage. It's just really crazy. We had a young kid there, like 19 years old. He was on the rugs, really, really high level stuff. And he couldn't do nothing for a week. He was really young and he used a lot of it.
At least checking for vitals, right? And that doing that, right?
No, I don't remember anybody getting checked vitals except for G-Man because of his age and blood pressure. But nobody came up, and I was a resident while the majority of them happened. Nobody checked vitals ever.
So did you ever see like people withdrawing that were really going through it? Like, I mean, I'm assuming that you've seen what like opioid and shit withdrawal.
Of course.
Yeah. So have you ever seen anyone have to do that cold turkey, like in the house, really go through it like that?
Of course.
Ah.
I imagine Brittany would be one of those, right?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
My God, and that just happened, and there weren't any vital check. Now you've worked in a detoxification center.
Yeah,
correct?
we check people all the time. Yeah, and
when you say all the time, like, is it like once a day or?
It's so when people first get there, it's usually 3 to 4 times a day that we'll check vitals. Or even if like they don't feel good, so we'll like, okay, how do you feel? Let's check your vitals. So like anything out of the ordinary, if they say they're uncomfortable and they need like Advil or something, we'll check their vitals. And then everybody's checked within the hour, and the first 3 days is observation period. So that person who's the first 3 days, they get checked on every 30 minutes.
Like Graceland. I've heard, did they ever give anybody Benadryl while they were detoxing? Anybody that you know over there?
I'm not sure what people were given, like, other than like the med time. I don't really, they never told, like, and then that's the thing too, like when they're giving people meds and they put them in the box, like, nobody's a trained nurse, or people don't recognize pills. Like me, I've never been like a guy to take pills. Double
tap, baby.
I don't know what they are. I don't know the difference between like a muscle relaxer pain pill or like a diabetes pill. I don't know any of that. So people were like abusing that. Like they were taking both night and days and stuff. Like, it's hard to tell.
And for anyone in the chat that doesn't know, withdrawing from opioids is some fucking shit. I can tell you that from many personal experience myself. It is one of the worst things you can fucking go through, and I do it cold turkey whenever I had to go through it, and it's hell. It's pure.
Yeah. Concerned, Anthony, as a staff member there, that something could really go wrong with one of these people that are coming in and they're in a garage and they're detoxing? Like, what's the mentality there?
Well, like I said, the majority of people that detoxed there while I was there, I wasn't staff. And even Brittany, I wasn't staff. Of course, I was concerned. I would check on people when I was there and see how they were doing, talk to them. I didn't do vitals or anything, but like, I don't know. It's hard to answer really, because I wasn't really there to focus on other people, and I don't know from experience what they were feeling. And I'm also like a very apprehensible person. Like, I'm very detached from things, so like I'm honestly always on the fence with people when they talk to me, because I don't know if they're trying to like get one over on me and stuff. So I'm always like trying to be smarter than them, I guess.
Everybody and get involved. I get that.
Yeah.
When you were there people, like residents and shit, would they ever complain about Pat, like his behavior around all of them? And
of course. Yes.
And would Pat hear about it, or would everyone just keep it from him, like everyone complaining?
He would usually retaliate. In some sort of like drab, like weird thing. Like one time, like let's see, what was the situation? Oh yeah, we had this girl here. She was a young girl. She was like 19 or 18, and she was talking about being SA'd and how it made her feel and stuff like that. And he comes, and she was trying to leave, and she was gonna.
Oh, Anthony
silenced again. Oh no.
Anthony.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I mean, Annette.
Can you hear me?
What, Annette? Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, you.
And so he came in just guns a-blazing, yelling at her, saying, "We don't care. You can get out, whatever." Right in the middle of her, like, telling us about, like, some essay she experienced as a young woman. And it just, like, drastically changed. Instead of him saying, like, I'm sorry, he kept going at it. And then the next day, he brought in the footage that he chopped up that made it look like our perception was off.
Stop for a minute. We're going to rewind this. Okay? You have a young woman, 18 and 19 years old, is in the middle of like a group, right? Inside of Graceland. She opens up and entrusts the group and talks about a horrific thing like essay. Why does Patrick react, and how does he react?
So he comes in and he starts telling her that she's lying, that he doesn't care what she's saying. If she's going to keep the way she's acting, she might as well get the fuck out.
Oh my God.
And she ends up leaving, and then another girl that was there for like 4 or 6 months, something like that, left too because of the way he talked to her.
Just to rewind just a little bit. So Patrick says that girl, she's lying. She can't be trusted. She's making this up. And then the next day, can you talk a little bit about what he played for you guys as far as footage goes?
So that girl was on a Wednesday. So the next day was Thursday, the house group. So he makes us all come in there and watch the footage of the way he acted. And like, it didn't change anything, but he like cut some part out of it. And it totally makes him look like it didn't happen. Like our perception was off.
They videotaped the young woman talking about her essay experience?
In the security camera, yeah, it's right over the living room.
And then Patrick's footage, did it blend in her talking about her essay or just his reaction?
No, he only started it as soon as he walked in because he wasn't there during the whole conversation. He only came in because he heard what was going on. And because he had this, I don't know if you remember River.
Yeah, we heard about River.
So it was the girl that River wanted to leave with. So it was right around that time.
Someone in the chat was asking, can you just confirm, was she talking about essay that happened in the house or essay that had happened?
No. Something happened to her because of her addiction and her being homeless and being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Dude,
it was very sad.
I know you can't speak for him, but why would a person like Patrick react that way when someone's sharing something like that? Like, why would he do that?
He has to be in control. He's a narcissistic egomaniac.
I mean, Blue, let's remember what we heard when we were watching a video last night about Danielle and Madison talking about victims, that it's their fault and they're to blame. So if that's the approach they have,
and that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So that young woman left. How long after that Patrick did that to her? After she shared her essay experience,
she left that night.
Young woman. Fair enough.
She left like right after everything happened. Her and another woman left because she was like, she got like, I think I actually have it recorded.
Anthony, don't give us little fired tidbits like that.
Yeah, don't dangle that carrot.
Don't dangle that.
I might. I'll check and I'll let you know. I know I recorded some things secretly while he was going on tangents.
For the people asking who it is, Anthony might not want to say her name, and
no, that's no.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's okay. That's what I'm just clearing it up that we don't need to know names. It's not.
Also, you know, she was a very young, impressionable woman who went through a lot of traumatic experiences in her life, and she didn't deserve the way he talked to her.
Nobody deserves that. Nobody, whether you're a woman or whether you're a man, nobody. And you're talking about something like SA. How dare somebody come in there and do that to you?
And would Pat act like this often? Like, would he do this kind of like just like really shitty?
So he rarely, when I was a resident, he would rarely show up to the group day on time. So he would show up like halfway through or a third of the way into it, and then just totally wreak havoc and like put all this like mumbo jumbo in there and like, oh, this is what I did. Yeah, talk about himself and him going to Liberty House, stuff like that. And it was just like, oh my God, another fucking speech.
And how many days did he do at Liberty House? Let's talk about this.
He did a month.
He did 1 month. He did 30 days at Liberty House. This program that he bases his whole sober living off, he did 30 days there. 30 days.
Xander did more time there than he did.
And so what's the whole situation with like Blue? Like, why is does he act the way he does on camera with Pat as he is? Because obviously we see that Pat treats him like a dog, right? Like, go fed this.
Blue, how can I say this? Like, he has been touched by the heavens. He's, I don't know, he's very impressionable. He's far out. I don't think he knows what to believe, honestly. He preaches about God, but then puts pagan tattoos on him, then uses witchcraft. And it's just like...
And he doesn't live in reality, right? He's only really lived in Graceland. He doesn't know what the...
No, he's never... Like, even when he graduated early from Graceland at like 10 months, he went back home and his parents paid for his apartment. Mm-hmm. And he just isolated in there. And then that's why he came back out here, was because he was tired of being alone. Then he came out here, and Pat gives him a sense of need, I guess. And that's what he needed. I don't know. But he constantly belittles Blue. Everybody does, because Blue says some things that really get on people's nerves. He gets on my nerves, and I tell him what he does, though. That's the difference. I have 2 younger brothers that are special needs, and that's the difference. You can't just be like, get mad at them and yell at them. You got to be like, look, I know you're just trying to do this, but this is how it's coming off. This is what you need to change. He needs to talk to him like a boss, like a leader, but he's not. He's just a guy with a checkbook and circumstances. That's all he is. He doesn't really have anything interesting to say. He doesn't do anything interesting. Like, I don't know. I think everybody like heard that he was like a rock star, and they thought this big person, and like he was well to do, but he's really not anything special at all.
No, he's just a rich. He's actually from LA that his parents have bought everything for him.
Yeah, he's just a bull in a china shop to everybody he's around. Like, I don't know. Of course, he's got long-lasting relationships. Everybody does, but like, I don't know. I think most of those people have something to gain from them.
Hey, man, go ahead, Tay.
Oh, just had a question. Like, when Maddie messaged me tonight, like denying, for one, she said that her and Sarah did the program perfect, and that's why everybody's jealous. But the other thing is it true about like the hookups, like when, and I don't know if you even know, but with her saying that Sarah did the program perfect and shit, but then we're hearing other things about Sarah hooking up and blah, 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 but Maddie denied any of that. Like, is any of that?
I believe it is just because, like, I can't 100% just because the way Sarah talks and the way she acts and the things I've heard in earshot from her, I believe she does. And I've heard some things about, like, when she was going through the house, how she was trying to hook up with several of the guys in the house, and her making comments like, oh, none of the guys here are attractive this time. There was a lot of other hotter guys at the house last time. Stuff like that, like stuff you shouldn't even be concerned about in your first year of recovery.
Yeah. What's your opinion on Danielle?
Danielle?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. I never really got to know her. Like, she seems sweet, but also she just kind of like does what she wants. Like with Nick, like when he first got here, she put like a lot of attention into him.
Mm-hmm.
That gave him like his like
superiority.
That made him think, that made him think that he was better than all of us, and he was getting this like special treatment, and it was just like kind of ridiculous. And she kind of comes in sometimes and like tells people one thing, but then the house is like, no, it's not going to happen. So just a lot of false hope there. And I think she means well, but I didn't really get to know her that well. I never really, and then like, I don't believe in God. So she kind of never really like opened up to me because I didn't believe in what she believed in. So like, I wasn't worthy.
So that's why like Blue and Nick are her type of people, because they...
Blue, Nick, and Zach, especially Zach.
Oh.
And what's up with Zach? Like, to me, from what I've seen with Zach, he seems like he has such a fucking angry personality. Personally, from what I've seen, he seems very hot-headed. I know he uses the excuse he's from New York and shit like that.
Yeah, I know plenty of people from New York that don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, he seems to me like an angry fucking... We watched... I don't know if you were awake last night, but we rewatched the Milo... there was this that Thursday meeting with him and Milo going at it, and it's not the first time we've seen Zach lose it. Like, is he an angry fucking dude?
Yeah, 100.
Tony, we lost you again. Tony, come
Anthony?
back.
No, you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Right now.
You hear me? Hello?
Yeah, you're back.
Yes, he's a very, very angry person.
Yeah, we talked to him about it one night, right? He came in after...
And he's not honest at all.
Yeah.
He's very manipulative. Like, it's crazy. And that was another one of my things. Like, so Danielle and Johnny were asking me to be the house manager way before him, and I was like, I'll have to think about it. I'll think about it. I don't know what I want to do after I graduate, so I'll think about it. So they gave him the opportunity the same day. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So they made us both it, but like right after that, it came out that for the last 6 months he was lying about hooking up with one of the girls and I was just like, that's just the last straw, dude. It's just like, he's not honest. They better not give him the room over me. They give him the room over me and like pretty much get rid of me. Like, even when I left before I even came on this, nobody said bye.
Francesca?
Good luck. They didn't care. They just wanted me out. Like, they didn't offer me a room at the grad house. None of that.
Hey man, with that girl that admitted and discussed her SA experience, and then Patrick berated her and yelled at her, was Madison in that meeting as well?
Yes.
Do you remember how she reacted when all that's going on? Did she stick up for the resident, or did she offer any guidance?
I'm not sure. It was a while ago. It's been a while now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna check later for the video. I might still have it. It might be on my other phone, but I have my other phone. So
That would be lovely. We all witnessed Madison basically commandeering residents to help her set up her birthday party.
yeah,
Do you remember that?
yes.
Was there other instances over at the house that they would have, or for lack of better words, make residents do like those kind of chores or set up parties? Or?
Yeah. Sometimes she'd have them come over and clean the whole house, and she'd take away words or pay cash.
For the grad house you're talking about, right? So they come over.
Yeah,
and
for the
clean
grad house. Yeah, which is always nasty. They don't ever clean.
Would they have to do the grad's laundry as well?
I don't know, but I'm sure somebody has.
Yeah.
I know she paid me to wash the couch because Butters was always peeing on it. And I did that.
Big up, Butters.
Big up.
Yeah.
Butters. We always.
So I had to,
I always pull for Butters. I just feel like.
Yeah, Butters, a good boy. He's just neglected.
That's what I think as well. So how did you feel, like, if I was a resident, right, and my director of operations was saying, hey, Blue, I'd like for you to clean the couch that the dog soiled on, and I know how I might get some words taken off, I would feel more inclined to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because of the way the house is set up. Do you think that's how other people feel, or is it just something they want to do to be part of the program? Like, it's such a weird thing. That's why I'm asking. It's such a weird thing to have a resident of a sober living set up for your birthday party.
Because, like, when I was there, like, they made a big fuss about, like, you can't go to the grad house or even Pat's house after, like, until you've been there for after a while, after 3 months. And then things just started getting looser and looser and looser, even when I was staff. And I was just like, I can't concentrate on everything, but, like, they just kept loosening up things. And then I would tell them it's, like, too loose, and then they go too hard. And it's just like, it's a lot of over pushing boundaries.
It's unethical. In my opinion, is what it is, right?
And then it's real hard for me to, like, sympathize with a lot of it because I don't have a lot of the same problems as most of the residents, and the only problem that I'm like that I have is, like, I don't have a family that's like 100% of my life, so it's just like, it's crazy to watch all these people, like, go through all this and have this family constantly support them. And they're lucky.
100%.
It's weird. It's weird to me.
Francesca, the chat doesn't know what you're saying, Francesca. Neither do any of we. You said no one's letting me speak. We said, what do you need to add in? Are you a part of the GL? You said my house, an apartment burnt down. So I don't know if that's, like, a part of GL or what.
Yeah,
no one catches on to what you're saying. And then you said Nick is not nice. So I don't. Did Nick burn? I don't know what happened, but we don't understand what you're trying to say. Is what I'm putting out.
More importantly, is Nick at your apartment right now?
Shit. And if he is, if that's the case, we need you to
Call
get
the police.
out. Right? Fire.
They're probably
National
the
Guard.
words, bing bong.
Fine. Bing bong. My name is Bing Bong. Jennifer.
Wrong words, bing bong.
Bing bong.
She said her place burnt down, and you said fire.
Oh shit! Sorry. I'm just gonna.
We're going to hell.
That's crazy.
Does anybody have any questions in the chat for Anthony? He's been kind enough to, be very forthcoming.
Penosaurus,
So-
I told you who that girl was.
I mean, you guys have a lot of questions usually. And nope, just like his music, he'll take that. A lot of people like your music, Anthony. Have you
Thanks.
heard about
Yeah, big
smart
fan.
recovery?
Smart recovery. No, I have not.
I know some people that have had some pretty good success. Are you familiar with a former resident named Wyatt over there?
I am familiar with Wyatt.
Are you very familiar with his background?
Just what I've heard here.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember
didn't know
when
if that was something.
Anthony was like, I think Anthony said he was never told about all that other stuff.
Got it.
I know there was somebody who came to the house who had like a open thing about that, and it was a big thing in the house. Like they didn't tell people, and then people found out. I don't remember. It was like when I first got there, somebody that was there who was like, yeah, and he ended up leaving because it was just like we voted him out.
So you guys had the opportunity that somebody was forthcoming with that, and they actually gave you the opportunity to say, we don't want to live with them.
No, we found out, and it created like chaos, so they called a group, and then it got discussed. Did I have to NDA? No. And then it just came to like, yeah, we can't have that here.
I hear you.
No, I did not sign an NDA, and nor would I sign a fake NDA.
And did anyone ever complain about having to sign those NDAs or contracts?
Of course.
But they still went like along with it type thing?
It was either sign it or they couldn't probably stay there. I don't know. I wasn't part of the NDA thing.
Oh. And did they because after this Nick got there and all this shit started blowing up, we were getting asked about NDAs.
I know they're not valid.
Yeah, because we heard that they're not. Matthew said that he never even got a copy or was able to even read it over.
So they were all made into booklets by the henchmen, and Madison pre-signed them all, and there was one witness, not two, and no. What do you call it? With stamp.
Notary.
Notary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all it is basically is a promissory note. There's no real like legality to it.
And it was signed under duress. So
Yeah, that's what the like the whole thing felt like with the residents having to sign it, because like I think there was like 20 people there at the time, so they had to sign a bunch of it.
So the night that you got back, remember how they did that 7-hour fucking hold everybody?
Yeah, with the Dina.
So when you got back, like, what was said about that? Did they let you know, like, that everybody was in that room for 7 fucking hours?
No, I was like, what the frick is going on? And then I was told, and then they were doing some like scribble art on a paper to see if she wrote the words, and I'm like, all right, why don't we just call it a day? But they kept dragging it on, and it's just like, I don't know what happened. I still don't even know what happened. Dina's words went missing, so that's as far as I know.
Have you heard that Dina was trying to go back?
Yes, but I have not heard that from her.
Yeah, she hopped up in our box and said that she was, because Madison's her sponsor, and she said that she was thinking about going back there because it's like comfort to her where she knows. Now, we tried to talk her out of it. We gave her J-Bone's number and shit like that. So we're hoping she doesn't.
Yeah, she just needs to not go back there.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Look, the hardest thing is, I said to her, like, obviously you've got to decide what's best for you, and you've got to make your decision. But I did send her a couple of, because she was looking for another co-ed place. I sent her, because the chat gave us a few suggestions, and then I put her in touch with Caleb and J-Bone, who said that they're happy to help out.
Well, first of all, if she's feeling like that, and in the first place, I should probably reach out to her.
That would be great.
So,
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I had no idea she was feeling that way.
Yeah. I think because she's heading back to LA, so she's currently still with Scott.
Okay, and
Heading
Virginia.
back to LA, and so she needs a plan for when she gets back, because she knows that's where she's not safe, is when she's not with Scott.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
At least
with Paul, did
Yeah.
he ever get along? Sorry, my ADHD's fucking ADHDing right now. With Paul, did him and Nick ever? Because what we seen with them online, and I like Paul. I for some reason I like Paul. I never got a bad vibe. It seemed like Nick. Like Nick's the kind of guy you would just like punch in the face in the real world.
I think Paul liked Nick because Nick took all the attention away from Paul. So Paul kind of just let him act a fool and enjoyed it because he just got to watch it instead of being the center of the attention.
And is Paul more of like a no social media type guy? Like, is he not about
Yeah,
it?
he's not. No, he's not that. No. He comes home. He works all day and comes home and sleeps. He's like a 62-year-old man when it comes to his like social life. He'll go out and shop and get his hair cut and go out to eat. That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't sit on his phone. He's got like $100 phone because he doesn't do that shit.
Oh yeah, Tony Madison
Quiz
already
gangster.
said so. You know, I don't know if you were watching the other day when Czech was on his way. Madison announced while they were live, Adina's coming back to the house. So told everyone, which we told
That
her.
Adina's coming back.
Yeah, well, we told her. We said, by the way, like Madison's just gone and told everyone. She's like, oh, that makes me think about it. I'm like, well, what's your gut telling you? Because like, here's all the things that are telling you not to go back.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's a question. When they were there, how much of this shit is like not fully set up, but very set up, as in here's how we're going to film this, and here's what I'm going to walk into the kitchen, and here's what's going to go down?
I think it's all corny, honestly. But I think like 50-50. Like a lot of it's set up in a way, but like the more serious, like personal things, that's real and raw, but it's also like changed in a way to make it look like more screen time for Pat.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to use while you're at Graceland if you're coming in as a new resident? So let's say I'm prescribed some anti-anxiety medications.
As long as it's not a narcotic.
So things like Xannies? No?
No.
Okay.
But the
What-
Adderall
Yeah.
lilies.
Ada Lilies.
Add a little.
No. I think the most thing you could have is the GABA,
Right.
Oh.
and that's for anxiety, and it like
Nerve pain.
it retards your nerve electrical system.
And from what I understand, there's 2 times during the day in which you're allowed to take your medications. Once in the morning, once in the evening, right?
Yep, but if you have like medication that is like some people have midday medications, so they take those as well.
And a resident is assigned that responsibility to get
every day
medication.
there's a different resident.
And it could be with someone from just coming in to someone that's been there a little less than a year, right?
Usually it's got to be someone there that's phase 2. It's got to be someone who's been there over 60 days and hasn't shown any like bad behaviors.
Aren't they concerned, though, a resident would have access to the locker with all the medications? And has there ever been a situation that's happened on the negative?
Yeah, Zach.
Can you give me an example of something?
Yeah, so Zach was in charge of medication, and so when he would go down there, he would take extra GABAs, overprescribed, so he'd run out of his prescription sooner, and then it got found, and that happened. And I'm sure more people have done it. It just hasn't been caught.
Heard about it on a live, actually, where Milo was the guy in charge, and I think it was another resident was trying to get a little extra add-on, right? Mm-hmm. And they got caught for that. But what if I need my meds at 1 p.m. and I can't find that resident? What do I do?
You would get a hold of the GIC, who would get a hold of staff, and then they would answer that question. Usually they'd say you're just going to have to wait. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Says is messaging me very inappropriate, dirty jokes in the background, and I'm trying not to laugh.
Very dirty. About?
She's messaging me dirty
this is
jokes.
a serious conversation.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm listening. I'm very,
and I'm trying.
At all, in either
We
you
are
see.
just
No,
popped up.
you guys are
I
full
can't
of
even say
malarkey.
popped up.
You're going to have to update him later.
I'm trying to find out some things. All of a sudden I hear, and says is completely.
all right, I'm muting.
Silent.
I'm going. Goodbye.
We're the girls in the back of the class that are just annoying as fuck. Like,
Can
shut.
you read it out at least?
No. No one wants to hear about
Negative.
these tents. No one. No one. Sorry, back on topic. Not my fault. We had a moment. ADHD.
What is a rescue medication?
I don't know. It says, do you know?
Are you talking about narc? And?
I don't know. This person, Liddy, asked, so like rescue medication is never permitted? We have Narcan there. Yes, we have that. Panic attacks? So what would be for panic attacks?
Like an inhaler? How about
An inhaler?
Yeah.
Inhalers are fine.
Or low blood sugar.
Blood thinners, stuff like that. Just no narcotics. And I know there was a girl there that sliced her finger off with a mandolin.
Oh.
With a what?
A mandolin?
Guys, can we just keep tapping, please?
A mandolin is one of those things that like slices like potatoes and stuff, like really sharp. I've done it.
Yeah.
So she was prescribed a couple narcotics for that, and they allowed her to have it, but they were locked in the office in a lockbox, and only staff could give them to her.
House manager or director of operations would have to really distribute the narcotic medication.
Yes.
And what about like stuff like for anxiety, like if you were on like Ativan or anything like that?
I'm sure if it was like a must-have, that same procedure would have been used.
Okay.
Administration takes over the distribution of the narcotic medication.
Yeah.
Not the resident.
Residents just have access to, pretty much would be able to have access to over the counter.
But
Nope, go ahead, because mine's off topic again. Go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Why you guys gonna share some more dirty jokes?
No, it was on this
like an
topic,
idiot.
but it was just another question. Go ahead.
I just surprised that administration would be handling narcotic medication for residents. The one follow-up question I have with regards to medication is: have residents ever had to go without their psych medicines?
I believe so, a few times because of like logistics of having them picked up, and coincides with like what I was saying earlier about they could sometimes with some of the people giving out the meds, they weren't paying attention. So, addicts are going to do what they want and get what they want. So they'll take an extra one or something. So they'll run out sooner.
Got it. Or someone from Graceland.
Have you heard of people leaving and needing to get their meds, but they weren't able to get their meds back? Because a lot of people have that complaint that have left, that they had Graceland wouldn't give them back their meds when they left.
I think that's happened before too. Yeah, because a lot of people leave, and like when it comes to the meds, like if somebody leaves when staff aren't there, they pretty much either leave or wait until staff goes there. They leave with their stuff because the people there, even like the phase 2 or the GIC, they don't have the ability to give them their stuff back. It has to be staff.
And so go ahead.
I wasn't going to say
were you
anything.
finished? Or?
Yeah, I was finished.
So when Maddie messaged and she said that if anyone gets caught like, sleeping with other people, they automatically get kicked out right away. But I've heard that that's happened before. Yeah, that they never got kicked out right away.
No, that's not true at all. That has happened several times since I've been there, and then before I was there, and nobody got kicked out because of it.
That's because Nick
staff, right?
Yeah,
Nick got kicked out. Nick got kicked. He was actually about to be able to stay and just get words, and then Nick's a very like I love Nick. I talk to him sometimes. I haven't talked to him in a while. I probably should talk to him, but he's very snarky and quick-witted and very he could come off very abrasive. So like when it came out that he slept with these girls, only one of the girls that he slept with was still there. So he's like, yeah, I did sleep with someone, and he turned to me and said, I slept with Anthony. Oh, and then it kind of like it. Yeah, so people were like, and then he's like, yeah, no, this and that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but pretty much he doomed himself because the rest of the residents there were like, he doesn't take this seriously. He's taking it as a joke. He needs to leave. So they voted. I voted for him to stay, but the majority voted for him to leave.
So is it usually a house vote or is it just staff vote?
That's how it's been for every one of those situations since I've been there. But this time it became a Madison vote. Well, Sarah vote.
Yeah. That's fucked up. So it is strange. So what happened recently isn't usually how things go, that within like an hour you're fucking out.
No. Somebody with allegedly 3 months of sobriety shouldn't be making any she shouldn't have any foothold in any of the decisions made by management. It's unprofessional. It's just crazy. They need to separate their personal lives with their business lives. It's just
hard, man. It's like everybody. It's all in a bubble, man. There isn't any external forces bleeding into that ecosystem, man. You know, it's like everything is made and put together in that environment, man, and that's it. Like there isn't anything outside of relationships or work. You know, it's all intertwined. On those reflection desks, have you seen people crack and break down at all?
I've seen people cry. Yeah. Yeah, cry or just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I've seen people leave over it. I've seen people throw things, bang on it. Yeah, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot to have to write. Like, people don't think about it, but like 50,000 word essay or 25,000 word essay is like 3 times more than like a thesis.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And were the people there, because obviously all this Nick Harris like DV shit's come out, and when we asked Pat, we asked Madison and Pat, were the people aware, were the residents aware, and all of the staff aware, and they said everybody was aware of it. So were you guys aware of how much?
They didn't give me no. They just said this guy needs help. He's on drugs. And we met him through Fly. Me and Evan went and picked him up from the bus station. Didn't know anything about him. It was very weird. Still very weird.
So obviously the residents didn't know, like the girls in the house weren't made aware of like his past.
And then like yeah, it's like, and some of the girls there, like Maddie herself, she has a real trauma with that herself. So like whenever Paul would scream, she would like at somebody, she'd take it like as an offense and get like, oh, I don't want to be here. And like if she yelled at Paul or did something to Paul and Paul would snap back, she would use that as like an excuse to like get mad. And it's just like, Paul doesn't think like that. And it's no excuse, but it's just like, she should have known about that.
Mm-hmm. And
what if he did what he did with Brittany with her?
100%. It's dangerous. It's dangerous not even to tell. A lot of, and a lot of women that have been through addiction have been through DV in some sort of way as well.
Just the way the way Nick describes how it happened, it just like irks me. Like, dude, shut up. It's like he makes it sound so like, I don't know. It's just like you're cooped up in a place with someone. Of course, something like that's happened, and you're not changing. Like, if you were changing, you would have told somebody about it and not let it happen. But you did it because you're not changing. You're a despicable person. Oh,
it's and the one thing is, we rewatched the video last night of Xander when he got called out about you were in that video too, I think, and the meeting of Xander saying about the van stuff with Allie or holding her hand or whatever. And it was, I'm not a huge fan of Xander, but the way he reacted to like being accountable for it and being like, I should have known better. Like, I fucked up. This is on me, whatever. It's completely different than how Nick handled it.
Yeah, no, he has no remorse about it. He got what he wanted out of it. He fell into a situation that he could take advantage of and be in control of, which we all know that's what he wants.
Hello, Says.
Oh,
and another, when you were there, I remember at the beginning, and can you remember a girl, Tori?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when we first started watching dinners, it was like a couple dinners in, and Tori had said that, and we all heard that she wanted to leave, that she had made the decision to leave, and then the cameras cut, and I'm assuming everybody talked to her. But was her decision to leave because of all the shit that was going on with the cameras and all that, or no?
I think she left because something was happening. She didn't want to be there for Christmas. She wanted to be there for her dad because he wasn't doing too well. and she wasn't going to get permission to go on like a pass. So she was just basically, and and the person who brought there is another graduate that like she has a resentment against too as well. I don't know the deal with that, but that's what she said. So she's basically done and left. She's like, I don't want to sit around here anymore. This is stupid. And yeah, she left.
Okay.
Oh, and her dog. She's like, I need to spend more time with my dog, which reminds you, she kept chained up in the back all day and never spent time with the dog.
Oh.
So she was just inconsistent and like, I don't know. I hope she's doing good, but yeah, she left on her own.